We've been following the breaking news in President-elect Trump's Georgia election interference case, learning that Fani Willis has been disqualified. The state appeals court has removed her from the case. There's still plenty of uncertainty, though, about what happens next.
Yeah, let's bring in Judge Andrew Napolitano on this, senior Newsmax judicial analyst is the word I'm searching for. Judge, good to see you on this. So breaking news on this election interference case. The future of Fani Willis, the district attorney staying on this case, was up in the air. We know now she's disqualified.
Right.
But they're stopping short of tossing this entirely out, even though Trump is entering office.
Well, the actual application here was to disqualify her, and the disqualification, which was ordered today, is, in my view, so profound, it may be the functional equivalent of dismissing the case, because under Georgia law, a panel of judges in Atlanta will now choose a special prosecutor from outside the Atlanta area, and that person will decide whether or not the case is even worth pursuing. Now, under the Supremacy Clause, the president cannot, of the Constitution, the president cannot be prosecuted in a state court or a federal court while he's the sitting president of the United States. So the most the government could hope for was that this be put on the shelf, sort of like what they are planning to do, we think, here in New York, with the conviction and the documents, the bookkeeping case. There still is an application before the appellate court in Georgia to dismiss the case because he is the president, or will soon be the president of the United States. The court did not rule on that. What the court did that was unusual, normally, I know this personally, when you're a trial judge, you make findings of fact. You've heard testimony. I believe this person, I disbelieve that person. Here's what I find happened. The appellate court is not in the courtroom. They did not have a position be in a position to assess the witness's credibility. They almost never, if you'll pardon that odd phrase, second guess you when you are assessing the facts. Here they did. They second guessed him and said, you should have ruled otherwise after the financial relationship between the two of them. Question now is whether she's even in a position to appeal. She's actually removed from the case as of this morning. So someone else from her office would have to appeal this to the Supreme Court of Georgia.
Wow. By the way, she won re-election.
She won re-election overwhelmingly, and during the course of the re-election, I hate this when prosecutors promise to do things because they should make a judgment about prosecuting based on the law and the facts and not on the politics. She promised to pursue this case. She won overwhelmingly.
Wow.
So is it in her best interest for Fani Willis to even attempt to appeal this, if that, or her office, someone in her office, to even challenge this ruling by the appeals court?
I think they have to challenge it.
Yeah.
She has been the driving force behind this case. Most other prosecutors would not have taken the case against the president. There's a legitimate, the president-elect, there's a legitimate case, in my view, against the others because there's evidence of forgery involved. But against Donald Trump, who was never even in Georgia at the time these so-called events happened, in my view, the case is weak, shouldn't have been brought. And another prosecutor may look at it similarly as I have and decide we're not going to do it. So in that respect, this is a potential tremendous victory for President Trump.
Yeah. Significant appearance of impropriety. That was initially what was said. It didn't tank her the first time around with that judge.
It tanked her boyfriend.
Yes.
Right.
But now it's her time around.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. The trial judge sort of cut the baby in half and said, oh, there is some impropriety here. I can get rid of it by having you, I think his name is Nathan Wade, Mr. Wade, leave the case. The appellate court said the impropriety is across the board. She's out. Question as to whether her office can even prosecute this or whether it's got to be another office from another county elsewhere in Georgia. Remember, she is the prosecutor who runs the office. She doesn't actually try the case. She has a team that tries the case. Trump's people will probably argue that the taint on her seeped into the team. Yeah. Now, that would force an entire new team to come in and start from the beginning. Prediction? They'll throw it out, meaning they'll decide not to prosecute.
Information. truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.